Welcome to Raj Sabha TV. I'm Amritanshu Rai. You're watching Agenda 2014.
A nation on the move. India is one of the three fastest growing economies of the world. Its factories need power. Homes, schools, hospitals, metros are all demanding a ceaseless supply of electricity. In this scenario of fast accelerating demand for power, the quest for energy sources is never-ending. Since independence, India has chosen coal as the most critical ingredient in its plans to generate power. It's the one key input that drove infrastructure industries like power, steel, and cement. Coal, in fact, meets around 52% of India's primary commercial energy. For the rest of the world, this figure is only 29%. 66% of the total power generated in India comes from coal. Globally, India is the third largest producer of coal after China and the United States. The question is, after independence, what made successive governments choose coal as the answer to our energy needs? Is such a huge dependence on coal justified? And can coal indefinitely service India's growth needs? To answer these questions, we take you to Jharkhand, where some of the most productive coal mines of India are located. To see up close how coal is produced, the problems in expanding its supply, the limits to its extraction in a nation with a growing population. The Jharia mines of Dhanbad are among the country's main sources for coking coal, a key ingredient in producing steel. The biggest entity that mines coking coal here is the Bharat Coking Coal Limited.
You see, basically this particular coal field is known for the coking coal, because this is the only coal field where major coking coal reserve of the country is here. If you remember, the nationalization also took place of Bharat Coking Coal separately. First Bharat Coking Coal, then Coal Mines Authority. So Bharat Coking Coal was nationalized first separately, because it is because you know, if we really can deliver what has been to our plant, government will save huge dollar.
As a subsidiary of Coal India Limited, Bharat Coking Coal Limited was incorporated in January 1972. Headquartered in Dhanbad, it operates 214 mines in the Jharia and Raniganj areas. Of the 81 coal mines in this region, 40 are underground, 18 are open cast, and 23 are mixed mines. The company runs 6 coking coal washeries, 2 non-coking coal washeries, a captive power plant of 10 megawatts, and 5 byproduct coke plants. BCCL is unique because it meets as much as 50% of the total prime coking coal requirement of the steel sector.
If you are having an aim of 300 million tons of steel in this country with a growth rate of 8%, so naturally you require huge coking coal. Of course, today the price has come down to $100, but 2 years back it was $300. So international price can go to any level at any point of time. So if you do have your indigenous source parallel to the imported coking coal, probably that will be a very big boost for steel sector and growth story of the country.
This is the biggest open cast mine in Lodna. Over 4 kilometers long, it's part of the Jharia coal mines that are owned and operated by the BCCL. Open cast mines can usually be dug up to 300 meters. Tons of waste known as overburden material or OB is dug out to reach the coal that's found in layers called seams. One seam can extend from 5 meters in thickness to a maximum of 15 meters. Crater-like pits are dug up to extract the coal. The dug-up waste is simultaneously dumped in the mines from where coal has been extracted.
Only dig out the fire, take the coal out, whatsoever usable, and put OB in the open areas only. After taking out the fires and putting OB initially to the water, and then put it the dumps accordingly, and that strategy has really worked.
The mines in Jharia add a new dimension to how hazardous coal mining can be. These mines have some of the longest running coal field fires. Some of them are burning underground for nearly a century. The fires not only damage the environment, but the pollution they unleash has an untold human cost as well. The oldest fire in these mines started in 1916. Since then, there have been constant efforts to put it out. BCCL officials say that in the 70s, the fire spread over many kilometers. Today, it's restricted to a few kilometers.
We are standing at a fire dousing site, and to know more on the issue, I have with me, on my right is General Manager, Lodna Mining Area, and on my left is General Manager, Environment, both General Managers of the BCCL. So first of all, can you explain to us how the fire is doused and systematically?
Basically, we used to take the water from the SAM through 6 to 7 inches pipeline and taken the water into the face, fire face. From there we used to branches, different sizes of pipeline, 3 inches, 2 inches. After that, by through the hose pipe, we fighting the fire by spraying the water into the active fire faces.
Sir, reclamation is a major aspect of this entire area. This is the first place where you've actually been able to reclaim some land, yes, which was not happening earlier.
Yes.
How is the process happening? How have you managed to include it into the entire mining plan?
Actually, basically, these fires are very old. The first fires have started in 1906, and as per a World Bank study, at that time, this Lodna area fire was about 3.7 square kilometers. And recently, we have done another satellite survey through National Remote Sensing Center of ISRO. They have established as 0.4 square kilometers. The fire area has come down. This was done due to our new method of our corporate management's idea, our CMD, Mr. Lahiri, by formulating a strategic plan. The strategic plan tells that first we have to remove the combined seam coal seams which are on the fire. So as per that, we are removing in the process, we are removing all those coal seams, we are digging out the fire, and these fires are subject to these coal seams. So you can see that, on the north side of the coal field, we have already removed those fires on the fires, and we are proceeding towards the south. Now you can see this, we are doing the backfilling of the void which was removed by the fire, and this is called as the contemporaneous reclamation. And after that, we will lay the topsoil on the dumps, and we will go for ecological restoration, plantation, or even a rehabilitation process. So this is the first place in the whole of the coal field where we are going for the contemporaneous reclamation.
Underground mining is done to extract coal that lies 300 meters below the surface. One of the oldest mines of this kind is in Munidi. Unlike the open-cast mines, miners have to take many precautions here. They have to wear the mandatory headgear, carry a torch. The battery is mine-grade, which means it won't trigger sparks. A necessary safeguard since the Munidi mines are filled with combustible methane gas. The lifts are the only way to go inside. After fully gearing up, we set out into the underground mines. We are told to chew toffee to reduce the impact of the steep descent on our eardrums.
We are around 125 stories deep, which is nearly 500 meters, which is nearly about half a kilometer below the ground. Now this is the Munidi coal mine of the BCCL, and this network spreads nearly over 20 kilometers under the ground.
The rail trolley carts you see stretch all the way to over 10 kilometers in this underground mine. The mine is being upgraded as part of BCCL's plan to enhance production. Recently, the BCCL approved global tenders for state-of-the-art equipment. Using the props to hold up the tunnel roof is an unceasing challenge. Setting up platforms for coal extraction and transport is a constant activity. All the side walls here are pure coal. They are painted white for a clean look.
We are valuable because our coal is high valued coal. And then it is a type coal which is only required for the steel sector. So, you know, and then if you recall the history, 150 years or 200 years back, why the private operators came to Raniganj and Jharia? Why they didn't go to other coal field where now production is 150 million ton? Because of the grade, coking coal, price, profit, etc., etc. If we reach from today's level of 30 million ton or 34 million ton to 50 million ton, so our profit may be 20 times more than what is today.
Three types of coal are produced from open cast and underground mines: coking, non-coking and processed or washed coal. Heated in the absence of air, coking coal becomes premium quality coke. It's generally used for steel making and metallurgical industries. Non-coking coal is mainly used for thermal power plants, cement industry and fertilizers. Washed coal, on the other hand, reduces the percentage of ash. This is used to make steel, power, cement and sponge iron.
It's time for us to head into a break. When we return, we will tell you more about the issues related to coal mining. Welcome back. Fire in the coal mining area was a big issue for the BCCL. When it began, it had nearly 9 square kilometers of coal belt which was under the impact of fire. But now, due to sustained efforts over the years, the fire impact has been compacted and reduced to less than 2 square kilometers.
After independence, a need was felt to consolidate coal production in the country. In 1951, a working party was set up with representatives of industry, labor unions and the government. It suggested amalgamating small and fragmented producing units. This in turn paved the way for a unified coal sector. Nationalization of the coal industry came next. In the early 70s, the decision was a fallout of two related events. First came the oil price shock. It made the country take a close look at its energy options. The availability of coal reserves made coal the natural choice. Then came the question of investing in the growth of the sector. Since the private sector controlled the mining, nationalization became paramount in order to both conserve the scarce resource and halt wasteful and selective mining.
We adopted some good, strong policies. First 1.5 years we said about coming out of BIFR. Then 1.5 years we said about being a good man, human being, human approaches. And then next we started saying that company on top. So when this message went all over and majority of stakeholders of Dhanbad were benefited by this message, if you see the, if you can see the feeling of everybody, you will feel that now all stakeholders, whether he is a dukandar, whether he is a politician, whether he is a business class, everybody is happy with BCCL's doing. Now, once everybody is happy, so as you said, others will be unhappy, so they will never be there where unhappiness for them is waiting.
In the early years, in search of pure profits, the private owners saw to it that mine workers lived in subhuman conditions. The mining techniques were unscientific, unhealthy and exploitative. This was, of course, one powerful reason to nationalize the sector. At the same time, the government was equally under pressure to provide employment to a large section of the population. The sector became a huge employment opportunity, which explains why coal became not only an energy option but also an economic necessity for India. BCCL alone created as many as 1,80,000 jobs. But as the years went by, the advantages whittled down. BCCL found that it couldn't expand production avenues anymore. Paying salaries and perks trapped it in debt. The lowest point was in 2008 when it accumulated a debt of over 1,000 crore rupees. The Board of Industrial Financial Reconstruction demanded drastic action to cut down losses.
I said all promotion will be on foundation day as per manpower budget. So what happened? All 6,000, 5,000 promotions were being released on 1st November every year since 2008. So that brought the transparency.
Today, BCCL has about 60,000 employees, only about one-third its original strength. Its turnover has gone to over 10,000 crore, the highest since its inception. Profits are above 2,000 crore and it is producing over 31 million tons of coal per year. With the company in profit, BCCL is solely focused on increasing production by deploying latest technology. The company plans to push production up to 50 million tons in the coming decade.
We have made one point very clear. Capex will be ours, the operational cost will be of bidders, but bidders cannot quote the price which is higher than the notified price of today. Means from today, if they start mining today, we'll earn profit. We'll not have loss. Now, when they will start producing coal after 5 years, so we'll be earning more profit because by that time again our coal price will go up. But their committed price remains the same. So in next 10 years, when the total production will come, we'll earn more profit.
As part of its expansion plans, BCCL is starting open cast mining as well, but here it is coming up against the problem of encroachment. Dense population is making land acquisition difficult, but if it doesn't secure the entire area for production, the open cast mines will be limited to small patches that would make no dent on the production. To reclaim its land, the company faces a challenge of relocating over 80,000 households, many of them illegal occupants. The BCCL is expected to spend over 8,000 crore rupees to free nearly 20% of its mining land.
And BCCL is to provide fund of 7,000, 8,000 crores to Jharkhand Development Authority, JRDA, for rehabilitation of non-BCCL persons. Now this JRDA pace and speed is slightly slow. If it is fast, it should not take more than 1 year. But if it is slow, it may take some more time.
Next in the list of problems in coal mining is environmental damage. Open cast mines need huge area, stretching up to many kilometers to harvest the coal. Once the coal is extracted, the entire area becomes barren, which is why the BCCL keeps running into trouble with the Environment Ministry. The company was forced to change its excavation methods. Land redevelopment became an important part of the entire open cast mining. Now all the extracted waste can only be dumped on land that doesn't contain coal reserves. Once the waste is dumped, there's extra effort to cover it with fertile topsoil that would facilitate greening. The Forest Research Institute in Dehradun is helping BCCL carry out forestry activities to create a positive impact on the environment.
If you want to really make ecological restoration, then you have to create natural forest. That is 3-tier system, grass, shrub and then big trees. And then varieties. It cannot have 1 or 2 species. Yes. You should have 300, 400 species.
What started out as an economic necessity after independence, today expanding the coal sector is no longer an easy option. Down the years, the sector has come up against definite limits. Its employment potential is severely restricted, so is its profitability. Given the human and ecological costs in servicing the multiplying needs of India's growth story, the inescapable conclusion is that India has to look beyond coal as a preeminent energy option.
Thank you for watching this special report. We'll be back with a new episode and a new issue. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.